Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Today, we are reviewing the latest installment in the... We gave the film a... out of... We think the movie was really... It could have been really... If not for... Why are there so many... Bob, can we get... to stop? Somebody please stop this. Oh my gosh. Get yourself. That's not what I said. No, I didn't say that. Okay guys, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Welcome to the Cinema Club. R&R Reviews.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another explosive edition of R&R Reviews. We tried to get Michael Bay to direct this review, but he hasn't returned any of our calls, emails, letters, or people we've sent to his house. He hasn't responded to our drone telegrams. In fact, now that I say it out loud, he probably thinks we're stalkers. Hey Bob, can we cancel that confetti bomb letter? So much like Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, we tried to make it as Michael Bay as possible. In our case, we just added lots of random explosions. This week, we are of course reviewing Bad Boys for Life. So far, it's the highest grossing film of the year. Since we hadn't seen the first Bad Boys since we were younger, and we hadn't seen the second one at all, we used this weekend to watch all three back to back to back, and let me tell you, I think I have overdosed on explosions. But enough of that already.
Moving on.
Needless to say, this is a review about Bad Boys for Life, but everything being said can pretty well go for all three films. The first two Bad Boys installments were helmed by Michael Bay. This time around, it was taken over by Adil and Bilal. Two names I'm sure I'm not saying correctly. They did a great job with imitating the Bay Man. Whether that's an insult or a compliment, I'm not really sure. The film fits well in its trilogy and doesn't feel slightly out of pace even though it's been 17 years since the last film. We gave Bad Boys for Life a paw.
Time to go home there, Bob.
Or 3 out of 5 crash cars. Is anyone else confused by the title? Doesn't Bad Boys for Life seem like a better title for Bad Boys 4? I don't know. Coming into this film cold, I can't say for sure if it will hit the viewers as well. You certainly aren't going to feel as much emotion or heaviness from the film.
Whoa, this is heavy.
And a few jokes and comedic moments may fall short. We believe that any big action flick fan will be pleased. But for Bad Boys fans, this movie certainly brings out the big guns. Some very heavy moments, although the movie has a lot of buddy cop cliches. It certainly sets itself apart from all the other buddy cop flicks in a very good way. It has its own style as its predecessors did, and for the most part feels original and fresh. Our movie contains several recurring characters from the franchise, which helps keep it from feeling disconnected from its counterparts. Our characters are very much the same people and we can feel it. They change with age and it plays very well for their hand. Some great dialogue as always, as well as some very dark comedy. The Bad Boys movies were really ahead of their time with their super dark jokes, and this film does not let up. Is joking about macabre things the best way to process them as a person? Maybe not for everyone, but for our Bad Boys, it works. Of course, with the movie coming out 17 years later, we get some new characters as well. But instead of feeling like we're forced to like them, this movie lets us pick by not pulling the focus onto the rookies. With any reoccurring set of characters, we also have a reoccurring cast. And boy, oh boy, do they fit so perfect back in their roles. Will Smith doesn't seem to have changed in the slightest, from his character to his acting to his looks. Martin Lawrence plays his role perfectly. This trilogy has really given his character a solid arc. If you want some of Martin Lawrence's funniest and best dialogue, give this trilogy a watch. The way he runs his mouth in some of these flicks shows his true talent, and it's hilarious. Joe Pantoliano returns, and this time, he isn't trying to kill Neo or manipulate Guy Pearce. We love his role in this movie. As always, he does it well. Vanessa Hudgens does surprisingly well in her role. Alexander Ludwig breaks a little bit of that reoccurring role that he's been stuck in. And for some reason, DJ Khaled makes a nice appearance.
We the best music. Another one. DJ Khaled.
Kate Del Castillo is truly scary, and don't forget the Bayman, who you probably won't even notice. The movie plays heavily to the soundtrack songs, as the others did before it, but of course you can't have Bad Boys without the Bad Boys theme. And no, I'm not talking about the one from Cops.
Hey.
Hey,
Why are you so sweaty?
I was watching Cops.
Hey, man. Do you touch my drum set?
No?
It's just weird, because seems like someone definitely touched my drum set.
Yeah, that is weird. Because I didn't touch them.
Hey! Did you touch my drum set?
Hey, knock it off!
I know you touched my drumstick. Because the left one has a chip in it.
You sound insane. You realize that? You should be medicated.
I know you touched my drum set, and I want to hear that dirty little mouth admit it.
Get out of my face.
You swear on your mom's life that you didn't touch it then. Because I know Cops doesn't start till 4.
Although that's in the film as well. I'm talking about the score made for these movies. It returns with his cast, helping stay connected within this family. There is also a terrible rhythm of the night. And by terrible, I mean the song didn't even need a cover at all. It was perfect the way it was. Nothing too striking about the visuals, not a ton of good CGI, and no terrible CGI. The movie adheres to mostly practical effects. With that being said, there are quite a few unnecessary overdone explosions. Listen, not everything explodes, guys. Sometimes it even looks cooler when it doesn't. The movie has quite a few of the Bayman's signature shots. It almost feels like his hand was right in the middle of it. Lots of kinetic shots, and a tone that holds tight to the previous installments. But seriously, not everything explodes. Overall, Bad Boys for Life is worth a watch. Sure, it has some cliche moments, but we're not even really fans of this franchise, and still found a way to settle in and enjoy it. It has some greatly timed comedy, action, solid dialogue, and of course, tons of explosions. We recommend Bad Boys with a par. It won't blow your face off, but it's definitely worth some mindless entertainment. Well guys, thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for today. And remember, it's always a beautiful day in the cinema hood.